Tonight is part 2 of mine and Pippa's open mic Ask Any Question. Tonight we're going to be looking at subjects like IBS, adult acne and postpartum weight, and should you be keto, should you be paleo. So enjoy the next hour with us. Fabulous to see you. I feel like I've not seen you for ages.
I know, because we keep messaging. We must talk. We actually, you know, everyone...
I know. It takes ages messaging, doesn't it? I know. Oh, my legs are okay, thank you. Someone's just asking.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. How are you?
I think I'm going to lose a toenail. I did last time, actually. There's a blister underneath it and it's gone black. It looks disgusting. And my quads are really sore, but weirdly, my hip's not hurting. So
really?
I've been worried about it all week, but I've just got the DOMS, you know. I'm going to go for a sort of incline walk tomorrow and try and loosen it up and all that. But
are you going
the top of my feet are sore. The top of my feet, not the bottom. It's weird.
Maybe you're a bit clenchy. Are you quite good at foam rolling, like on your quads?
No, I'm rubbish at it. I'm terrible. I mean, I don't stretch or anything. You know, I'm just like, get me on the treadmill because I don't want to be here, and just get me in the zone. I was going to ask you something actually, Pippa. This might be quite relevant to a few people. So,
yes,
obviously, I did the marathon yesterday and had all the house music on and everything. I had God knows how many calories I burned, but I mean, I did most of it in a slightly fasted state. Which is better for me. I always find exercising so much easier on my body if I'm fasted. But at night, last night, I felt very low. You know, like almost, I think like, because all the dopamine left me. I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't sleep like a baby at all. Very interrupted sleep. And I actually woke Matthew up. I felt a bit fearful, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the joy had gone and everything. It
felt
like
that's really common.
So, you know, that runner's high and that sense of achievement went like that.
And then nothing. Well, the thing is, it's really common with athletes. Well, anyone who's got like a really big event, so you use loads of adrenaline pumping through.
I'm celebrating, by the way, tonight.
Yeah, you celebrate. Loads of dopamine, everything's like really firing up. And also you have this big goal. You've been knowing this is going to happen for weeks. You've been building yourself up to it. You do it and then nothing. Now what? You know?
Yeah.
So it's not only is all that adrenaline you're trying to get rid of, so you're buzzing, which is why people find, you know, some people who have to stick to a good routine. I mean, I know I'm not that great. Like if I go out for if I go out for an evening, I find it quite hard to wind down. So you sort of change your routine. But, you know, I think you probably couldn't wind down. That sense of what now, you know?
And I tell you what I did do, because it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. And so what I did, I felt really restless. So I got some melatonin, which you can get here, no problem. Melatonin drops. I put 2 drops under my tongue and then I lay on the spike mat. And it totally just sorted me out. Almost within about 5 minutes. It really helped. I thought, what can I do I thought this must be dopamine leaving me. That's why I feel rock bottom. Yeah. All that on the serotonin, all the good stuff that I felt when I was running that got me through that race on such a high. Left me and I'm in bed like that, like with the fear. It was awful. So actually the spike mat really helped, and a bit of melatonin.
And melatonin is, people worry about taking melatonin, but it's actually a really powerful antioxidant, and I wouldn't worry about it. And it's really good for estrogen as well. Really helps with estrogen, you know, estrogen dominance.
Because they don't sell it in the UK like they do here. I mean, they have it for kids here. They have it everywhere, and it's literally like you can pick it up like you could do chewing gum, you know.
But you can get it online. And just quickly on melatonin, actually, you get 2 different types of melatonin. So the one lot you took last night, I'm guessing it was probably an upfront, straight, standard melatonin. Brilliant. But you can also get one which is a slow release melatonin. It's either called timed release or slow release, which you can get in America. You might be able to get it on Amazon, but you can definitely get it online somewhere. And that means it drip feeds all night. So for people who wake up in the night, so, you know, maybe they don't have so much trouble getting to sleep, but wake up in the night, it's really good because it drip feeds throughout the night. So I would say maybe 2 or 3 milligrams of that people could try.
I think they sell it, do they sell it on Lucky Vitamin?
Yes, they do, and iHerb.com.
I thought so. Someone was just asking about my kombucha. This kombucha is Kombucha Bio, which you get in Spain. The best kombucha in the UK is called Go Kombucha. I first came across it in Whole Foods. Why it's not got a massive stand, I don't know. But there's two flavors there. One called China White, ironically, where I used to be carried out of. And another one called Green Sencha. It comes like in wine bottles. It's the best substitute for champagne or wine or whatever. Go Kombucha. And sometimes they do a special offer with me because I just order every month. I just love it. I buy a crate of it and I just go through it. So it's a really good one if you want to swap wine for kombucha. Go Kombucha. Okay, let's get on, right?
And good to get you, and a good way of getting off the alcohol, because alcohol sales are now, I think they're saying, up by 33%. And that's the worst thing. We're talking about hormones today. One of the worst things you can do for your hormones is drink alcohol or excessive amounts of alcohol. And you know what? I know it's one of the hardest things to do, but it's free. You can come off alcohol and it's free.
Wow, it is. And you know what? It's just, the trouble with alcohol is it works.
I know. But I was just speaking to a client today who had come off alcohol, and it's something that she found really hard, but she's sleeping so much better. Yeah. So I know the benefits are there. It's just doing that initial thing.
With it. I mean, even if you do it for a week, you will feel the benefits. Because listen, I've come off alcohol several times, and you can be on that pink cloud for a good few weeks. And even if it's just for lockdown, try and come off the alcohol just for lockdown and like reward yourself after. But getting into that daily habit, it just adds up. And a friend of mine who's got like the Apple Watch, whenever she has 2 glasses of wine, she doesn't register any deep sleep whatsoever. No deep sleep. So it just shows you, it plays havoc with your hormones. Right, okay. I'm just going to crack through these in order.
Yeah.
Pippa, yeah.
I'm going to try and write down some questions as they come in as well. So we'll do the best we can.
Yes, okay, fabulous. Right then. So following on from last week, how do I do keto if my DNA says I can't break down fats? And what's the difference between keto and paleo?
Okay, well, if your DNA says you can't break down fats, it may not be actually the ideal diet for you. It may not be. So you might want to look at paleo instead, because you might find, and some people find keto very effective, but other people don't find it so effective. So if you can't break down fats, it could be putting too much of a burden on your system.
Could you take an enzyme to help with it? Because I think if you're addicted to sugar, which overrides your genes because you become addicted, you weren't born addicted as a baby, but you've become addicted. I find the fat really helps with the mental barrier, because I know I don't break down fats.
What you could do is, you don't necessarily have to have 60% fat though. You can still have the fats, but maybe not as much on keto. And then perhaps you could also add a bit more fiber than you'd normally have in keto to keep your bowels moving properly, to eliminate, because of course that
What type of fiber are we talking here? So, what I'm thinking is, for me as an addict, if I have one bit of carb or sugar, I'm off. Forget it. I'm just back in that cupboard every 10 minutes, and I'll be watching TV, and I won't really be watching TV. I'm thinking about that ginger nut biscuit.
So I think vegetable fiber. So if you don't have to be vegetarian, but think, that your plate's got, got to be your diet quite plant-based. So I'd be getting in, lots of the brassicas, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli. You can add some flax seeds in as well if you want to. But you just might not want to go quite as high as 60% fat. I'm not saying no fat, absolutely. We need that, but perhaps not as high as 60%. But you know what?
So somebody's just put all bran. Now, I know that tastes sugary as hell. You need to read the packet. These cereal people are the biggest con merchants ever. Just turn it around, see what oil's in it and what sugars are in it. It will say on the front, no added sugar. That's because it's already got it in anyway. It's already got sugar.
You don't need all bran.
Do not buy anything unless it says keto or paleo from a box, because you are messing with your hormones. Who's ever had one bowl of cereal? You just know you're going to have about 10 in a week.
And it's just,
that's just marketing. Yeah. That's just fiber. That's just fiber covered in sugar.
Exactly. So what Davinia and I are talking about is fiber without the carbs. So we're not talking, high carbs. All vegetables are carbs. We're talking about, not these sort of high starchy carbs. So you just think your plate has got to have it's a lot of vegetables there. Flax seeds, again, as I said, are really useful. But no, you don't have to. You still can, can eliminate the starchy carbs or be low carb if you want to. So
and tell me, what can she take as a supplement? Because I find the keto the fastest way to shred weight for me. And regardless of my inability to break down fat, what supplements can she take to help her emulsify that fat at the same time as going keto, even if the DNA says?
I think she should, maybe just try the keto. And if it works for her, then she doesn't need to take anything. But if she finds that she is, the weight loss isn't quite how she wants it, then either switch to paleo. You could try then something like phosphatidylcholine to help break down fats. But gut health is really key here, because I do find that, there are quite a lot of people who try keto and then they get constipated. And of course, then all your toxins are staying back in. You might be fine.
Because if you're keto and you're constipated, I mean, in the morning, you can have your coffee, have bulletproof coffee with the MCT powder, not the oil. And that's got a load of fiber in it without any carbs at all in it.
Yeah, because you need that fiber.
So that's a load of fiber just in your coffee, and you'll have the energy from the fat, and that'll stop that sugar craving in the morning that we all have in the morning because we've been asleep, and we all are so used to cereals, toast, and whatever. So that for me is my go-to. Before I even do the kids' scrambled eggs and bacon, I straight away have my bulletproof coffee, and it's done. My craving's gone, and my caffeine's woken me up, and I'm on the path. I'm on the right trajectory. I think the best, there's loads of MCT powders out there. The best one, let me grab it. You carry on chatting about the difference between keto and paleo.
So I would probably, somebody's just put a question about so the difference between paleo and keto. So keto is really high fat. It tends to be quite a lot low on fiber. Certain vegetables are eliminated. It was actually designed only to be done for about sort of 6 to 8 weeks. So there was a lot of research and a lot of success with epilepsy. So not necessarily long term. So paleo is more of that hunter-gatherer type diet. And somebody's asked, can you do it if you're vegetarian? You can do both keto and paleo if you're vegetarian. It is harder, but yes, you absolutely can. I know vegetarians who are keto. They will be getting a lot of their fats from more sort of plant sources and things. And paleo, yes, you can. I mean, also you're allowed eggs on paleo. So if you're vegetarian, you eat eggs, then yeah, you can.
Okay, this is the MCT powder, and I'll put a link to this and everything when we edit this properly. But this one's a very fine powder. This is what I can't kind of travel with. Like, it looks like condensed milk actually, but it blends really well. So yeah, this is a really nice brand, and it lasts for ages actually. It's a really good one, and there's no carbs in it, and there's no sweeteners in it. I tried to con you with.
Somebody's asked about fibre and they have Crohn's. Yes, that is a problem, and I'd work on really reducing the inflammation in the gut first of all. There are other things like sometimes, ground flax seeds, in water can be okay, but I would work really on healing the gut and reducing inflammation, because yes, there are certain high fibre things that will irritate you, for sure.
So would you recommend some bone broth for her as well?
Yeah, things that are going to really heal the gut. Anti-inflammatory type things, there's a turmeric as well. And that's where sort of powdered formulas come in quite well. You know that Holy Immune powder that you've got, Davinia, the disgusting one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good for Crohn's and irritable bowel syndrome. She's going to go and get it. It's disgusting, actually. I'm sorry to say, but it's really good. It's like a powdered multi, and it's really good.
It is absolutely brutal, disgusting stuff. I mean, just look at this.
It is brutal.
No wonder I have to bloody peroxide my teeth when she's got me sucking this every day. Looking horrible. And somebody just asked, this brand is called Nutriva. And make sure you get the unflavoured one. Don't ever get anything flavoured. It's full of crap.
Yes, can healing the gut help with someone who is severely depressed? It may help, yeah, because
yes, that happened to me. A million%. That's where, and you know what? Slowly but surely, I've been speaking to people in like the NHS and the medical side of it, and they're saying they're now slowly but surely looking into things like probiotics to help with depression. But of course, they've got to go through 20 years of trials before they can recommend it on the NHS. I personally don't have 20 years left in me being depressed because I tried to kill myself. And
it's like, oh my God, it's a supplement.
So I'm not waiting. No, exactly. So yeah, I healed my gut and all of a sudden my depression lifted and that's why I mean, everything begins in the brain. From going for a walk to going to the fridge and selecting the right thing, it all begins in the brain. And what feeds the brain is the gut. So it's just a pathway, isn't it?
I mean, everything, you should always start looking. I mean, I think to me that it's a very important sort of body systems and gut and the liver. And sometimes I work on both of those together, but sometimes I may choose to work on the gut first because nothing else is going to work until we get that healed. But yeah, because serotonin resides in the gut.
And serotonin is a hormone that makes you feel happy and contented.
Yeah. So if you look after your gut, then it can definitely make you feel better, for sure.
For sure. Okay, right, moving on. My DNA shows that my methylation is slow. Can you recommend a good folate supplement?
Okay, so methylation's slow. So obviously I don't know where in the cycle it's slow. If you're talking about a slow COMT, magnesium is really, really good for that. It depends where it is in the cycle. It might be that you need help in the first part of the cycle. Obviously, I don't know your DNA testing, but certainly the testing that Davinia and I have done, and I know a lot of you have as well, you get the first cycle and it's the folate cycle. So you may need help there, or it may be the next cycle you may need B12, you may need choline. So there are various nutrients that are involved, but magnesium and the B vitamins are very important in the methylation cycle. So I suppose it's just kind of where is your blockage?
Would a blood test help in this instance?
No, I think just really to look at the DNA test. So I don't know where she'll probably have the results there. Is it that she's got a slow COMT? Is it that she has a SNP on her MTHFR? But what's happening in the whole route? You know, we don't want to see things in isolation because otherwise you could be taking something and cause a problem somewhere else. Sure. You know, she's got a really slow COMT, and we went in with a methylated folate and a methylated B12, boom, and she's really slow COMT, and we haven't worked on that. Then some people can get really excitatory, some people can get even more depressed. Basically, everything stays in, because if your COMT is slow, that's how you get rid of dopamine and serotonin and things like that. So everything could be staying in. So you kind of want to go slow. So it's
so what basically, I mean, what we need is for people, what would be great is if we could all get like a DNA test and all be on the same page, basically, isn't it? You know,
I like the methylation test. I mean, for me, in an ideal world, I'd have all my clients do DNA testing, you know, before I saw them. And actually, it would be, the methylation would be one I would absolutely say is a must. But because people don't really understand what it is a weird one, you know. It's like, well, it's involved in every cellular process in the body, you know, but what is it? It's hard to understand what it actually is. But it's very important. It's very important in brain health, immune system, fertility, you know, so many things. So you just, energy. And
the trouble with our medicine nowadays, say as in going to your local doctor, everything's treated in isolation. They don't roll it back to the genetics yet because they don't have enough research yet, which is crazy to think like a unicorn company like 23andMe is generating like $1 billion a year, yet they don't have enough research to draw some conclusions. I find that preposterous.
I know.
Something bad's happening there.
I know.
You are your genes, and we can literally see who's susceptible to X, Y, and Z and how to protect them from future diseases. Yes. I mean, I think a huge revolution is going to happen soon when it comes to genetics, because it's our right to know what we're made of.
It's so useful. You hear it more and more. And if you do, the person who's talking about them, slow methylation, if your COMT is slow, then you're going to also have trouble detoxifying estrogen. So, you know, that may be an issue if you have PMT or hormonal symptoms. And actually, just a tip now, I think it's a question further down. I quite often get people who say their PMT is worse in hay fever season. So I would just say, are you taking quercetin? Brilliant for hay fever, quercetin, a powerful antioxidant. Yeah, people take it as a supplement and they're loading up on loads of this quercetin, but it slows down COMT. So if you already...
So you're not detoxing your estrogen, so you're becoming...
Yes, so you're basically taking quercetin, your hay fever's getting better, but then you're like...
You're going mental, yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that, I mean, basically that was our next question. So right, just to finish off on the DNA, you like a test by LifeCode GX, don't you? Yeah, because I mean, look, the reason why I'm affiliated with them, but only because I chose them. When I was doing my functional medicine training, they were all there. There was LifeCode GX, DNA Fit, all of them were there. I didn't like some of the stands because they had salespeople there, so that already puts me off because I don't like a salesman just selling these things at me. Yeah, for sure, of course. And I went with them. They're not cheap. They weren't the cheapest, and I thought, gosh, is anyone going to go for this? But they have more results and more useful results than any other company. So basically, it's the most useful one. But listen, I mean, as we all know, competition's out there, and if you can find a test that, have a look at LifeCode GX at what they do, and then if you can find it cheaper wherever you are on the planet, great. But what you find interesting is it has that estrogen detox, doesn't it? And it's got more genes. They've got more genes. So like I said, 23andMe, they only really have the MTHFR, but I need to know what's going on, and I need to know, like you, Davinia, you've got that slight feedback, NTR feedback loop. So if we gave you loads of methylated folate, then it's going to get clogged. And if and I wouldn't know this if I used another testing company. So you might see that gene and go, oh my God, I need methylated folate, and just take the methylated folate. So what I like is the fact is that we can see the whole picture, not just genes in isolation. But yeah, I mean, I love the estrogen testing one. I think it's really good. But all of them just have lots of genes in there. So I just want to see all of it. Okay, because I mean, obviously some of these tests are completely useless as far as I'm concerned when it comes to health. I don't particularly care that I've got like my husband might go bald or something. I'm not bothered. I want to know what my PMT is doing. Thanks. I know somebody said the other day, my genetic testing said that asparagus makes my wee smell, and I'm thinking, we know how wee smells after asparagus. Yeah, I know. You don't want to be paying 50 quid for that information. That's 23andMe who do that, the fun stuff. Right. It's like, and? Great fun, yeah, fabulous. There's a lot of text about this quercetin, actually. Quercetin. Is quercetin a supplement? Yes. It helps block an enzyme called DAO. Basically, it helps block histamine. Sorry, no, it promotes DAO. So it helps block histamine. So quercetin is just see it as like a natural antihistamine. Let's see if I can find my daughter's one here. It's not, it's the only one I can find. It's not brilliant. PMT, but I wouldn't necessarily. I got this on Amazon because the one that she normally gets from Nutrilink, they'd sold out. It's annoying because it had other things in as well, and I only wanted quercetin. But vitamin C can be useful as well with sort of allergies and things. But you can, it's pretty widely available to buy anywhere, quercetin. But just, go slowly on it. I mean, obviously, if you don't know your comp gene, then just go slowly on it. But yeah, I mean, children can have this as well. It's absolutely fine. Amen. Okay. All right, then. Anyone. Right. Yes, children can have quercetin. And I think somebody asked about DNA testing. Yeah, I've done my children. That's them for life because you only need to do it once. So I've done DNA testing on my whole family. So I'm like picking genes. Oh, you got that from me. Well, why not? I mean, you have to try kids on different foods with trial and error. You've at least got a roadmap. Mm. Particularly having a daughter and the hormones and everything. Boys are a bit. I've got 4 boys. They're just. Yeah, because I've got a girl and a boy, but it's just interesting the genes that they got from my husband. So they've both got the slight SNP on the Alzheimer's gene, the E3, which puts them at slightly higher risk. I don't have that, so they didn't get, but they've got other stuff from me, which is okay. But they'll get a mix, Yeah, of course. It's interesting to know, isn't it? Okay, what are your thoughts on CBD oil? I think it's been, I have actually recommended it quite a lot for pain. I know some people have tried it for sleep and they thought it was quite good. Generally, I will use it, I'll recommend it to clients for pain, rheumatoid arthritis, endometriosis pain,
So normally I've used it for sort of more pain management. Davinia, you use it sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, I've used it just as I'm sleep hacking, really, just to try and get more REM, because I'm obsessed with I've not got my Oura ring on, actually. Oh, it's in the gym. But I always like track my sleep, and I like to see how much REM I'm getting, because it generally depletes as we get older. And that's when you go into fat burning mode, and that's when you sort of heal the brain as well, when you're under rapid eye movement. So I'm using it for that, really, to try and get a good 1.5 hours of REM. But I don't find it helps me drop off to sleep, and I don't find it helps me calm down if I'm in like school run mode, or the bloody Wi-Fi's gone down while the kids are doing homeschooling. It's not that effective for me in that respect, but I do think it gives me REM, which will improve my day. So, but I don't feel a jolt of zen.
No, I think everyone's really different how they respond to it, actually. But you made a really good point about sleep and fat burning. So actually, when we burn most of our fat is when we're sleeping. So if you're looking to lose weight, and you have sleep problems, I would be really trying to work on sleep problems. I call it good sleep hygiene. What I mean is coming off your devices an hour and a half before bed, making sure your room's cool enough, just, all that sort of thing, making sure your husband's not snoring,
Yeah, and good sleep doesn't mean just getting 8 hours. If you think your weight maintain you're the to sleep, invest in a sleep tracker. Get to know your body. There's no point guessing and moaning, saying, oh, I'm doing this, I'm keto, I'm exercising, and then not knowing your sleep, because it's most of you, it should be like 10 hours of your day, basically. It's at least a third of your day. And if you don't know what's happening in your sleep, how are you meant to know how to conduct your day? So one of the best things I have is my Oura ring. And I think it's super accurate. It's amazing technology for the price. It's about 200 odd quid. I got it for Christmas, and I absolutely swear by it. Someone here wakes up with IBS 2 to 5 times each night. How can
that's tough. If it's waking you up. Yeah, absolutely need to. Well, it's the gut we need to deal with there. For sure. It's actually dealing with the IBS symptoms, because you're not going to be able to sleep, while you've got really bad IBS symptoms. So that's where you need to start. So I don't think, melatonin might help, but really, again, that's sticky tape over the problem. Need to sort out the IBS. Elimination diet, you can't go wrong.
Just go carnivore for a week. See what happens. I know
it's free. Elimination diet is kind of free, even without.
Literally, if I was back on square one, because I spent thousands on elimination diets and poo tests and everything. If I knew what I knew now, I'd just go carnivore for 2 weeks. That's it. I'd cut out all plants, all inflammatories. I'd literally cut out dairy. I'd probably have butter, grass-fed butter, because I don't have any lactose intolerance. I know that. But I would literally go carnivore. I'd have bacon and eggs in the morning. I'd have steak at night, and that would be me for 2 weeks, and I'd see what happens.
Yeah, and then you'll know, to be honest, once you've done elimination diet, when you bring something back in, your body is going to tell you if it doesn't like it.
Because it might be vegetables. Everyone's like, oh yeah, everything's brilliant, plant-based. But, plants have defense mechanisms as well. They don't actually want to be eaten. Fruit does, but plants don't, So they do have, you need to prepare plants properly. You can't just pick them up and shove them down.
And there are certain ones. So I wouldn't, maybe I wouldn't be going all raw. I would be, going sort of steamed vegetables. I think the worst culprits are the nightshades. Spinach can be a problem as well.
Kale, that superfood kale, if that's not prepared properly, it's really abrasive on your gut. A cow eats grass all day, but it's got 4 stomachs. We've got one, So this is my argument against plant-based only diets.
Just be careful of raw. Be careful of raw. Yeah. If you find lightly steamed, then things are generally better digested. But it depends how far you want to take an elimination diet. So,
well, by just going carnivore, you just boom, you're done, and then you slowly introduce bits, because meat's easy to digest. It's just protein. So if you just do that and then slowly introduce bits and pieces, you're going to be able to know by still hitting high protein.
Yeah,
it's just an easy way to do it for me, instead of spending a fortune. And to be honest, it could be months or even years until you get to the root cause by eliminating, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but we've obviously spoken about the smelly wind thing, which does quite often indicate bad bacteria. But so if they still, having done this, still find that they are really bloated, really bad wind, the wind smells, then yeah, you know what, you're probably going to want to do a stool test, because I would say that there is some bad bacteria there. And there's one which actually interferes really badly with female hormones called beta-glucuronidase. So that particular, if you're not eating enough fibre in your diet, we have it anyway, we need it, but when it increases too much, it binds to estrogen, the estrogen that is supposed to be coming out of our body on its way out, it binds to it and sends it back round again in its toxic form. It's like, so
that's
horrific for that one. I know.
I mean, it's horrific, but it's fascinating.
Yeah, so read about beta-glucuronidase. That's where CAD
right.
is a very good supplement for that.
So say that again.
You know, the supplement that you were taking, CAD glucarate, it's really good for helping get rid of beta-glucuronidase.
Okay, I've still got some of that in my box of tricks. Honest to God, I'm like boots. You want to see it here?
If I can find it.
So how many grams of fibre a day would you recommend?
I'd start slowly, because if people aren't used to it, then could be trouble. I would say, you know, I would sort of more work on getting it from plants, you know, getting it from vegetables, and just start slowly. So in a 1 cup of coffee with this, it's got 3 grams in. So I'll probably have about 6 grams of fibre before lunch. Yeah, I would say that if you're looking to really up your fibre, you're looking to up your cruciferous vegetables to support estrogen. Now, this sounds a lot, but if you do have an estrogen detox problem, then you need to be thinking about the equivalent, I'm not saying just broccoli, but the equivalent of 500 grams of broccoli a day. I know that sounds quite a lot. You know the ones you buy in the supermarket that are sort of like a big head of broccoli? I think that's like 250 or something like that. So it does sound a lot, but of course you can have other vegetables. You can have rocket, you can have watercress or broccoli sprouts and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I just think some people are not eating enough. So
you see, I sort of swing both ways with this plant-based carnivore. I think sometimes vegetables can really complicate the gut. So I'd start with getting the gut and then getting your hormones.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So you need to get your gut sorted out. So if you can't tolerate these things, you're going to have to go in quite slowly. But that's where the gut starts, of course, because it's like I talked about a couple of weeks ago. You know about the different detox pathways. So you've got where the estrogen's coming in, and then into your liver, and your liver has to get rid of this estrogen, this toxic estrogen. We've got to get rid of it. So it comes in, then there's phase 1. Everything comes a bit more reactive, and that's where DIN comes in. It can kind of help break that down. Then you've got the next detox pathway, and the third pathway is our gut. It's where it's leaving via poo. So if you don't work on the gut, then it doesn't matter what you do before.
You're going to be blocked up with recycled, with useless estrogen, toxic estrogen. Right, okay, let's try and fire through a few of these. Swollen glands under the arms, post-glandular fever. What's that?
I'd be checking to see if you sounds like you still got the virus. So, I mean, that's a bit of a doctor's one, I think, really. But if you have got glandular fever, I'd get on some, and it's still there, and sometimes it can lie dormant. I would get on a supplement called humic acid, which is an antiviral.
Humic acid. Okay, fabulous. Got that. Tick. Perimenopause weight gain. We've had this a few times, but...
Yeah. Again, yeah, sorry guys, but when we get into perimenopause, it becomes a lot harder to lose weight because estrogen helps our metabolism. So it helps boost the metabolism. Our thyroid is often affected as well. Diet is more important than ever now. So you absolutely have to focus on eating good quality protein at each meal. I've said it before, but get that protein in for breakfast if you're not already, if you eat breakfast. If you don't, then at least get good quality protein at lunch and dinner, and that is crucial to get the carbs. All these carbs have got to go, and you've got to get in more protein and vegetables.
Yeah, I agree.
It is tougher, but you need to reset your metabolism and just work a bit hard on it. We become more insulin resistant as we get older.
Okay, so by the way, carbs are sugar. So when you see the word carbs, just translate it to sugar. Like, you know, like what I do when I see the word credit, I translate it to debt. Like credit card means debt card. Carbs mean sugar. So whether it's a lollipop or a croissant, it's sugar.
Yeah.
So don't forget that. They're not your friends. And all these cereals, and just because it's brown wheat, it means nothing. It will make you fat. Just get it out your head that it's good for you and it's going to give you good fiber. It might have some fiber in it, but it's going to end up around your belly. Yeah. So you can get fiber from all different routes, through vegetables, through bloody this, which got 0 carbs in it. You know, so don't be sucked into this great fiber provider marketing bollocks. It's going to make you fat, and it's also addictive, and you're going to go straight back to it every morning. What about potatoes? What do you think about potatoes?
Excessive amounts. Yeah, I mean, excessive amounts of potatoes. It's still the same thing, I'm afraid. It will get harder, you know, to lose weight. If you're eating things like potatoes and, well, even loads of sweet potatoes and things, it's still the same thing. I mean,
don't regular potatoes have anti-nutrients?
Yeah, I don't. I must say I try and stay clear of white potatoes. Now, we're a bit of a funny family. My daughter doesn't like sweet potatoes. My son does. So I mean, I'm still cooking sort of white potatoes things. Actually, we have lovely Jersey Royals in Jersey, so we're quite lucky. But generally, yes, they can. You know, a lot of people don't get on with normal potatoes. There are anti-nutrients in there. People who have an autoimmune disease, I would be saying no white potatoes at all, sweet potatoes. But in terms of weight loss, you still wouldn't want to be eating a lot of sweet potatoes either.
No, actually, just speaking about autoimmune disease, a lady mentioned that she has autoimmune disease and declining kidney function. The London doctors seem to think that diet has any influence on this. I pointed towards Dr. Terry Walls on this incredible book called The Walls Protocol. I follow her on Instagram. She was like literally bedridden. Now she exercises, she goes out every day, she follows a paleo diet.
Definitely, definitely paleo. Is it yeah, I mean, I'd like to know if it's autoimmune kidney disease, then yeah, interesting. Yeah. Definitely follow paleo. And then, you know, also supporting the kidneys, antioxidants, lots of antioxidants for you to support kidney function.
Lots of dark berries and things like that.
Yeah, and there's a really good supplement called NRFT Renew. I have actually got that one as well.
We'll put it in the notes later. Yeah, that's Walls Protocol. Yeah. Dr. Terry Walls, Whals, I think it is. Yeah. Terry Walls, she's incredible. Incredible.
There's also Amy Myers, another American one who specializes in autoimmune, very good. And then for Hashimoto's, Isabella Wentz. So we'll put these books up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so yes, you've got this on your website, I think. How do you test for Candida?
Yeah, well, it's mainly a stool test, but you can also do an organic acids test. I just think the stool test is better. Yeah, and the 360 stool test is really good. But if you can't do a stool test, and sometimes I don't have to do it with clients, have a look at my website. It's in the blog, because at the moment I haven't got a place to put these questionnaires. So it's in the blog, and there is a Candida questionnaire. See how many boxes you can tick.
Brilliant, fantastic. The notes will be up in about 24 hours, so don't worry about that. Water retention, you need to take, it's a tea called horsetail tea, and you buy a big bag like that on Amazon, and you can just seep it and just drink it all the time. If you can't be arsed doing that, go to Boots and get Aquaban. They've got a herbal one. They've also got a premenopause, a PMT one as well. So try that. That's a really good one.
And obviously as well.
And also try and get some electrolytes down. Like Pippa said, if you can't get electrolytes, put some really good quality salt in water and drink that. I add chia seeds to my water, so it just it goes into a sort of gel, which your body can absorb a lot faster, may hold on to more, so you're not going to flush it out. So chia seeds, bit of lemon juice, and some decent Celtic salt in a big jug like that, and just sip it over a day or so. You don't need to do 2 litres a day. It's bollocks. I mean, I didn't drink that on the marathon. It's just rubbish. You're going to have 2 litres a day. Yeah, you'll flush everything out. And you'll end up with more.
I just saw somebody say about alopecia. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's not enough out there or books on alopecia, but I would still be following the same paleo diet for alopecia. I'd also check your thyroid, because quite often there is a link with underactive thyroid, and maybe even do a toxins test. You know, quite often, well, like with other autoimmune diseases as well, there's some kind of toxin or, you know, underlying, you know, viral or infection. Yeah, I mean, that person with alopecia, I mean, did you grow up near fields perhaps when you were little that were sprayed with pesticides and things like that? Those are the sort of questions I'd be asking my clients, in which case then you'd want to maybe get on something like glutathione. But yeah, I'd follow, for diet wise, follow paleo as well. Yeah,
definitely. Paleo is really good. Okay, bloating. Try cutting out certain foods, but I still look 5 months pregnant. When I was bloated, I just tried Mulcason and aloe vera just in a glass of water. It's really cheap. Try it for a week, see what happens. It might work for you. And like I said, if you try cutting out certain foods, some healthy foods could be bloating you. I mean, like we said, kale could be bloating you.
It could even be
rice could be bloating you. Anything could be bloating you. So if you can, if you're not a vegan or a vegetarian, just go carnivore for a week. Have Mulcason and aloe vera. You get Mulcason online. Aloe vera you can pick up in Holland and Barrett. And normally Mulcason you can get in those old-fashioned chemists, you know, not Boots. But Mulcason, make sure it's the unsweetened one, and you put maybe 2 capfuls into a glass of water and about 3 capfuls of aloe vera. Drink that on an empty stomach. See what happens. Give yourself a week and just cut out everything inflammatory, every grain, every bit of dairy, every bit of plant, and just go carnivore for a bit. It's the fastest, cheapest way to do it. And still, if you're bloating, maybe then invest in stool tests and everything like that.
Yeah. Somebody's mentioned about endometriosis. So that's just that is another sign of estrogen dominance. So again, I'd be wanting to look at your detox issues. It does come up also in the methylation report on the Life Code GX, but I would want to be looking at your estrogen detox actually, because that is again another symptom. So we get loads of different symptoms, or you know, hormonal imbalance, but particularly estrogen dominance. It could be heavy periods. It could be you know, other sort of PMT symptoms, endometriosis, you know, polycystic ovaries. So there are lots of different symptoms. Now, what I did want to mention about is anxiety, because often it could be estrogen dominance or sort of it's an imbalance, but it would be checking that progesterone. Because if you've got really low progesterone, that's responsible for our anti-anxiety, promotes GABA, you know, our relaxation, helps you sleep. You know, why
GABA's another thing you can buy here.
Yeah.
You just walk into any pharmacy and pick up GABA.
It's hard unless you're going to take natural progesterone. I mean, it's hard, so maybe a sort of glandular, but I would be looking at brain support there. Yeah, so perhaps things like GABA, or you know, you can get some brain glandular supplements as well. So you know, there is, you know, it's hard with progesterone, but I would be thinking more about supporting the brain for that.
Okay, right. Let's fire through a few of these. She's 41, large fibroid, had breast cancer. Does she have? I guess I have a problem with estrogen. Trying desperately to have children.
Right.
What test have you put her towards?
Okay, so let me just check this one. So do you say she's had breast cancer, large fibroid?
Yeah, number 23 we've got. She's 41, large fibroid, had breast cancer.
Okay, again, fibroid, should have mentioned that. That's another estrogen dominance thing, fibroid. Yeah, so I guess I have an issue with estrogen. Yes, and you've had breast cancer. That's estrogen dominance. I'd be wanting to look at your Life Code, the estrogen test, the DNA test for sure on that. Desperately trying to have children as well. Then the methylation report because of the folate cycle.
Perfect. So they're the 2 things you need to look at. Have a Life Code GX. You're looking at your estrogen dominance and the MTHFR gene. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Right, migraines and hormones.
Yeah, so migraines, it can be, again, that estrogen dominance, but also it's, you know, when the hormones are dropping. So it depends when it is. So sometimes people get the migraines, it's PMT time. So I'll be looking at that sort of detoxification issue. But if it's just before ovulation, is it the estrogen dropping? Is it just before you get your period or at the beginning of the period? So it depends when it is at what we're going to do. But, you know, I would be looking at estrogen detoxification. I would also be looking at possibly B12 and folate as well. So, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, number 25. We're flying through it. Should I exercise in a fasted state or not? I find it hard on an empty stomach.
Work at it. It will take time. Yes, it's better to exercise in a fasted state.
Right. What I want to know is, first of all, where you're running to. Because, I mean, there is not a cat in hell's chance I would jump on a treadmill with a full stomach, whether it's full of some sort of protein, pre-workout. Listen, people are selling you stuff. They're telling you need a pre-workout. I guess you're going to the gym to try and lose weight and get your metabolism going. Exercise in a fasted state. I mean, your liver glycogen will be low and you will kick into fat burning so much faster. That's the reason why you're there. I jumped on a treadmill. I ran a half marathon before I even had half a banana. I didn't get shaky. I didn't fall over. I didn't feel weak. So much of this is habit. It's in your head. You believe that you need more than you actually do. I mean, I think this. I read an article saying you can run 15K before your body needs to refuel, and that's from that's a fit, lean person. So if you're already overweight,
you got lots of fuel.
Who are you kidding? Yourself, you know? And you don't need a post-workout shake. Let your body recover. Your liver has just done a hard workout, so you've got tons of free radicals pumping around your body. You've torn your muscles, so they need to repair. What are you going to do? Right, I'm going to reward myself with a massive big meal. You've just set yourself back another 2 weeks. The whole point to be there is to get lean, get mentally fit. You don't need a pre-workout. You don't need a post-workout. Just stay away from these sugar spiking snacks. It doesn't do you any good. They are addictive and it'll just set you straight back again. Work out in a fasted state. For sure, you'll fat burn faster.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, it's a good point, is that at the moment you may find it hard to exercise in a fasted state, but once you get your blood sugar,
where's she running? Is she doing it? Is she doing an ultra? Because that's the only time when I think, you know, okay, fair enough, you need fuel, because we've got fuel everywhere. I mean, I've got it, you know, I'm like probably about 22% body fat. I was fine. I could have done that. I could have done that marathon without fueling. I just wanted to keep a pace. That was all, you know, and I didn't want to get cramped. So I had magnesium.
You get your diet sorted out, balance your blood sugars, you will find you'll be able to exercise in a fasted state.
Exactly. And I don't exercise. I mean, I have a bulletproof coffee, which has got calories in, but I'm not spiking my insulin. No, so I'm still in a fasted state. It's the perfect hack. You get the calories so you can work out, but you don't have the spike. So you will still be fat burning, and that's what we want to do. We want to burn all this excess fat, this belly fat, this bingo wings and everything. We want to just get rid of it. And something like Game On, which I ran with, is great because you'll have nothing in your stomach, but you will have some caffeine, you'll have some L-theanine, you'll have rhodiola, and you know, it's a bit of fuel, and it might even be a bit placebo, but bloody hell, it works, you know. I'll take one before a Barry's boot camp, nothing else. It's crazy that people are just selling your products. I think Barry's Bootcamp probably make more money out their protein shakes than they do the flipping actual class.
Yeah, you know? So coconut oil will not spike insulin, no.
But MCT is better. MCT is better because it goes to your brain. And remember, all movement begins in the brain. So feed your brain, not
immediate energy. MCT oil, immediate energy for the brain. Coconut oil is just immediate oil generally. But MCT oil, in what we're talking about now, it's more useful.
It is, yeah, but and it's vegan if you're going to be vegan. Okay, fasting we've done. Full hysterectomy. What do I do now?
Right, okay, so in terms of female hormones, then yeah, I presume you're trying to avoid, I'm guessing you're trying to avoid going on HRT because so your hormones will be dropping drastically. Your adrenals are going to have to take over now, so make sure you deal with stress levels because your adrenals are already going to be quite busy if they're stressed. So how are they going to make them female hormones? You might well want to start on a female glandular as well. You can get natural female glandulars that are not HRT, okay? So then you don't have those kind of risks. If you feel absolutely fine, of course, then you know you don't need to necessarily, you can do everything through diet. But absolutely, when you've had a full hysterectomy, you are thrown straight into menopause.
Yeah,
it's quite scary because the doctors don't warn you. They don't always warn you.
No. I mean, another thing actually, which I want to move on to now, breast implants, which I have mine removed because I wasn't warned. And I was seriously bloated. I'm very, very tired, but I just thought it was me and my fault. And once these implants came out, my energy went through the roof and I had a permanent sort of blocked nose. And as soon as I took the implants out, the blocked nose went. Literally within 12 hours. I'd had a blocked nose, like Vic Sinex constantly, for about 2 years.
So your body saw those implants as a foreign invader.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. And so like, just constantly trying to push them out. And do you know what was weird as well? I was breastfeeding Jude and he wouldn't take from my right breast. He'd only feed off the left breast. And when the doctor took them out, this right one had ruptured, but I didn't know about it.
Oh,
can you imagine? I didn't even know. So the baby must have been able to smell it, that wasn't right. And I was constantly having to, you know, get all those awful lumps out and everything and like so painful.
Well, no wonder it affected your immune system because you'd ruptured, you know, it's leaking.
I know, crazy, right? But I mean, even if it wasn't leaking, I still feel as if they are a really bad thing to do. I mean, what I did, I took mine out. I had excess skin. I ended up having nipples moved up, and I've got like a scar. I mean, I've got a scar under here, but I've got a slight scar here and a bit round here, which is fine, so much better. But I mean, I was just like flabbergasted at how ill I actually was, and I didn't realize it. You know, it was like
people die,
but you just live with it because it slowly comes in to your life, and you don't notice it, and it slowly dawns on you.
There's still not enough information. There's still not enough sort of science out there. You know, we don't know. We know when it ruptures, then we know there are issues in the toxins, but we still don't really know what if they don't rupture, what it's doing to the health. So
tell me, so it does affect the immune system, and it will, of course, affect your joint pain because you're inflamed everywhere.
If you're inflamed.
So that's that one. And Susie's just keeps saying, can anyone tell me if L-theanine is good before running? Only if you've got caffeine with it. I take L-theanine along with caffeine because it will relax you. It won't put you to sleep. But it works really nicely with caffeine. So you get a cool, calm energy. You don't get that jittery energy that I sometimes get with caffeine. So it's great to run with as long as you've got your caffeine as well.
Yeah.
You're using caffeine to exercise
because of the caffeine. If you take L-theanine without the caffeine, well, just go to sleep.
You might be a bit chilled. Yeah, you might be a bit chilled. I mean, it doesn't affect me that much. It's not like, you know.
But you might feel a bit chilled. Yeah.
Oh my God, Christ, we've got 5 minutes. Okay. Came off the pill today. What can I expect? I'm 45.
Oh, wow. Amazing you came off the pill. So, okay, it might take quite a few months for your periods to go back to normal, but it depends how long you've been on the pill. You don't know whether you might be perimenopausal now, and you might actually not be getting periods very regularly at all anyway. So I think it's going to be time. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, something like the Dutch test after a couple of months, you know, might see, but you do kind of need to see whether your periods are going to go back to being regular, first of all, because then you need to do it at a certain time. But yeah, it depends how long you've been on it, because you could well be now perimenopausal and you may not be naturally getting your periods, you know, maybe every few months anyway. So have to wait and see.
Give it a few months. Okay, adult acne and IBS. What do we think about that?
The acne could be to do the IBS for sure. But is this adult acne to do with hormones as well? Too much testosterone? So I don't really have enough information to know. But if it only came along when you had your IBS, then absolutely you need to be sorting the gut.
Leaky gut something. Could be leaky gut, couldn't it? It could be leaky gut and something that the liver's not working properly.
You know, yes, I know there's the testosterone sort of element. There is that. But I think if you've got bad gut, I just think the skin is like, it shows like things that are trying to get out. You know, your skin shows you an eczema. That to me is normally something that's raw, like a raw, unhealed gut, a gut that's very, very raw and needs to be calmed down and healed. And sort of acne, it's like something's trying to get out. Is it gluten? Is it, you know, something's, that to me, it's like something's trying to get out.
I agree. Someone just asked me how old I am. I'm 43 in November, but we're talking about every age. This goes from like, I don't know, 18 to 60. So it's not really for June. It's that soon, isn't it? Okay. Tummy tone. Right. What I do for a tummy to get a flat tummy is run, basically slow and steady. That'll burn fat. Because, and also, would you believe doing like lunges, because you're going to burn more fat exercising the biggest part of your body, the biggest muscle group, which is your bum and your thighs. That'll burn more fat than doing these poxy things or doing tiny little abdominal muscles. If you are already quite lean, then do a 3-minute plank every day for 2 weeks. You'll see a difference. And you know, I've got like this broom handle and I do a twist like this. Do that for 5 minutes. Just do that, honest to God, you'll start to narrow down.
So that's really for the obliques then. Do you think that's for that kind of really works the side of your core, so you get your obliques? Yeah, it does, and you don't even notice you're doing it, to be honest, because you just twist into whatever music you fancy. You know, that's how I train. I just put a song on. I don't count, and they have all these flipping up for 10, down for 3. I'm like, where am I up to? And I can't do that. I need to enjoy my workout, and I just have to do that by zoning out, listening to some cool music, what I think's cool, and then just like doing my thing and getting in there and getting out on a high. You know, I hate having complicated workouts that are all flipping like dance moves and everything. I just need to go au natural and just I
can't even count and move at the same time.
I did one of those with my husband the other week, and I spent more time laughing at him trying to do sort of like these women's moves. So, no, you don't do that. Right.
No. Okay. What postmenopause supplement would you recommend? Just as what do you think what do you find yourself offering people the most?
Right, postmenopausal, then I think a female glandular, because we need to give you a bit of oomph. So
what brand would that be?
So I really, for glandulars, I like Biotics Research. I really like Biotics Research for glandulars. So when something's really got to a point where you need a lot more, we're not talking about just a little bit, when you really need something a lot more, either your immune system's really down or you haven't got enough hormones, you need glandulars. And they do one called Cytozyme F. I wouldn't just go out and necessarily just buy these sort of things. I'm just sort of saying, these are the kind of things that I work with clients. You know, the GGGB that I recommended for you, Davinia, as well. That's a lovely supplement. It has a little bit of brain glandular in. So, you know, people who with low progesterone, bit of anxiety, things like that. I think glandulars at our age can become useful.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. We should do, someone's just popped up with something about her child. We should do a full one about kids, really, shouldn't we? Yeah. I think that could be. Maybe we could chat about children next week. Yeah. Because I know we've all got our kids here. Because a lot of people have been mentioning what do you give kids and everything. Okay. I'm about to lose you now. Listen, guys, I will repeat this in about 24 hours. It will be edited with all the long, ridiculous words we've used and pictures of the products. So from me and Pippa, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. And any other questions you've got, DM us, no problem. Thanks again, guys. See you.
Bye, everyone. See you.
Bye.